Okay, I'm back. Joe's Home Garage. Um, so this car, my Fox body, '88 Fox body, has a Paxton, an old Paxton Supercharger on it, and this is the intake for the Paxton, which is completely hideous. Bad enough that the mass airflow sensor is so big and ugly. I haven't seen anybody make a card style math or anything like that for these cars. Coming from the LS world, it was much cleaner, but this dryer vent thing has been driving me crazy. I've tried to figure out like buying little pieces and doing my own pipe and everything, and I just don't have the time to fit everything up and get it welded. Or haven't done any aluminum welding in like 25 years. So I purchased the UPR power pipe with that came in this CJ Pony Parts from CJ Pony Parts box. No directions, just the pipe that has a inlet on it. I'm guessing it's for a breather or I don't know. I guess I'm gonna plug it off, and comes with a reducing coupler, another reducing coupler, and 4 clamps. So I got to figure out how to do it, how to put it together. And there is it's supposed to go down into the fender to pick up the air, rather than before it was just laying in here, which was, I said, it was kind of ugly. So it's supposed to go through this hole and down into the fender, which I don't have fender liners yet, but I'm going to put them in there. And then but I figured before I went and ordered a new filter, because this is not good enough for me. I like the big long K&Ns. I want as much air to flow as possible. But I couldn't find any YouTube videos on how to do this. So I'm going to figure things out and then get back to you and show you what I did to get this thing in. So I'll be back in a minute. So got the power pipe installed. I had to cut this hole that's in the fender well or whatever bigger, which of course was a pain in the ass. And I'll go back later, clean it all up and put rubber or whatever seal in there. But I got everything lined up where I can hook this pipe up and then hook the top one back up. Like, it's a tight fit, but I think it'll work. And then what I did was pulled the mass airflow sensor wire back here and stuck it down through that hole there where the brake line went. And in the midst of that, I found a couple things, which you guys can tell me what these are. Found this ball, which it has a vacuum line on it. I believe this ran to the gas tank, and then because there's another line that ran from runs from the back of the car up to the front, that it has a little filter on it. And then this thing, which I have no idea what this was, because it's not plugged into anything. So apparently I don't need these things for the car to run. So, but let me know what they are. So now the pipe's in the fender well. I'm left with this UPR coupler, which this is the right size. This is 4-inch, I believe, because it's a 4-inch power pipe. So yeah, it's 4-inch on this side, and I guess that's supposed to be 3.5 on this side. So then my next issue is, okay, that comes out of there. Well, we got to hook the MAF up. Well, the MAF says, airflow this way. So this is sucking in from here. So then we've got, this thing had a rubber coupler on it, but if you pull it off, it's even smaller than 3.5 inch. And it's a Pro-M racing MAF. So that's supposed to be fancy, but so this, I guess I can choke this down. But what I'm thinking is maybe ordering another coupling to go from 4 inch to, it's probably 3 inch. And then at this end, I'm guessing I'm going to have to use this because this is a 4 inch filter. But I'm going to, yeah, that's 4 inch. I'm going to order I'm guessing I'm going to order a 3.5 because like 3.5 by 10 or something, whatever I can fit lengthwise in there, because this is 3.5. Hopefully a 3.5 is big enough, since a 4 is right on, is big enough to get over that little lip on there. But I don't see, why have this extra coupling in there if I don't need it, if I can just go right on here. So, all right, I'll be back when I get everything put back together. Okay, here's the final product. So, I don't know if the supercharger is clocked 100% right or not. I would think it is because of the way this pipe's laid out. But if it were turned a little bit up, this would have made this job way easier. I had to fight once I got this lined up, or the power pipe lined up, I had to really fight to get this back on. I had to keep pushing down. I had to end up pulling this back out, cutting the opening lower, which you can't really see from there, but I had to cut the hole bigger and lower, and then eventually I'll plate this out or something and block this off, put a piece of plate in here and make it look nice. But for now, I just want to get this car running or on the road. So got the pipe running in, it's on an angle, got the MAF plugged in, got it zip tied up, and then the filter, which I should have took the video before I put the car back down and put the wheel back on, because you can see it. The filter is aiming towards the front of the car, which is fine. That way when I go to put the fender liner in, I got plenty of room. But I could probably only maybe squeeze like a 7-inch filter in there. But one that's on there now is like 3 inches long, so I figure the more air the better. But the only thing I really don't like is the way that the mass airflow sensor is designed. It's like, I don't know, 2.5 on one side and 3 on the out, like whatever. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I'm guessing that's just the way the factory had it. So I don't know if there's a aftermarket one that's the same on both sides. It would be nice to delete some of these little couplers and stuff and just have the power pipe and then a coupler to the MAF and then a coupler to the filter, or the filter on the end of right on the end of the MAF. But I did start it and it's running, so I don't know how much of a difference there will be. The reason I changed the plug wires, was because when I went through this whole distributor issue, it had the MSD box, MSD cap, distributor, MSD coil, and I thought they were MSD wires, but they had a different name on them, Vibrant or something. And they were 10.2 millimeter wires, and these are 8 millimeter wires. I don't know if that's going to make a big difference or not. But when I was turning the distributor, it shocked me. So I was told that there's probably a crack in the wires. They look decent, but they're old. So I just went and replaced them. I've had good luck with Taylor wires before, and we're going with a kind of a blue, blue and black theme on the car. Of course, the catch can's a little off shade, but eventually I think I want to do like the Ford Racing valve covers with blue lettering, and then pull the intake off, blast it, and put it back to aluminum color, or paint it and clean up the throttle body and paint this pipe. But it definitely looks a lot better than it did when I bought it. So still haven't driven the car. It's coming. I had to get when I did the bump steer kit and the caster camber plates, I tried doing it like they did in the videos, and it just threw the toe was way off. Both front tires were sticking out like crazy. So now I've got it. I had to pull the tie rods in pretty good to get it where the toe wasn't sticking out so far, which is a pain when you don't have an alignment rack or a flat surface. You can't get under this car to adjust things on the ground. So, and I'm not spending the money on the big fancy alignment quick trick thing and then going to turn around and take it and have an alignment done. Like, I might as well just take it down and spend the $130 and have the alignment done. So, but we're getting close. The AC, I charged the AC. That's another thing I might have them check. I haven't decided. I put the vacuum machine on it, and same thing as before. I couldn't not get it to take the charge from the can through the gauges. Pulled the gauges off, hooked up my little stupid thing from AutoZone or whatever, and squirt a can in. I think I had like maybe a can and a half or something, and it's blowing freezing cold air. So, but I don't know if the pressure on the gauges was, the high side was high, like too high. So I don't know if I'm going to put the gauges back on or just I got one shop that I deal with that they do my alignments. They'll do tires and stuff if I need them. But I'll let them do it. Pretty much everything else I do myself. So, but that's the end of it. I just wanted to make a video on this power pipe, UPR power pipe for the Paxtons and whatever. I think it goes with the Vortex too, but it was $130, so it's a more affordable, I wouldn't say cheap, because plastic works just as well as aluminum when it comes to airflow. So the other ones were like 300 some, 350 or something like that, and I've got a lot of money in this car already, so I went with the $130 PVC one, and it's black, so it looks good. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe.